Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and I got some quickie news for fans and collectors of The Walking Dead. This is going to be for Carl Grimes in the Guts covered poncho. We got some new images and information. Now, first off, right off the bat, I want to let you know that this is coming or expected to be released around February 2017. Now, luckily, these figures are being released pretty close to their estimated release date, so I think that's pretty accurate. Now, if you're not familiar with the color tops, but you're getting into collecting these, or maybe you want to start, because Carl Grimes looks amazing. Look at these images. But real quick, McFarlane Toys is doing something called the color tops, where it's broken down into color-coded waves. The first wave was red, the second wave is going to be blue, and I think the third wave is green. Now, the red wave has multiple, like all the waves, they have 8 figures per wave with different franchises. The red wave was Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Abe, and then from Fear the Walking Dead, they had Madison and Travis. So that's basically the pedigree information just to get you started. Now with this blue wave, this Carl specifically, and I think this is genius. I think this is awesome. Now when they first showed him off, they showed Carl with a bandaged eye in his guts covered poncho, which was a ridiculous way to start him off because all the fans started saying, hey, wait a minute, why the hell would we want him having a bandaged eye? But this is actually freaking awesome because it's 2 versions of Carl you're actually getting here. You can have the wounded eye with the guts covered poncho. That's the one version of Carl. And then you have the removable poncho, and he comes with an alternate head. That's gonna be a bandaged head. So when you remove the poncho, Carl actually has the blue plaid shirt under there, so you can have a wounded eye Carl without the guts covered poncho. If you want to be screen accurate, you get 2 different versions of Carl. Now I think this is absolutely fantastic. One of my biggest complaints, it appears they're keeping that bullshit cuts they're doing at the hips. I beg them to stop. Every single figure that I've opened up to review, they have gaps on the cuts. If they can't do it right, move over to something different. For whatever reason, it's causing gaps. It makes the figures topple over. Even on the stands, it looks stupid as hell because you could see straight through most of the figures because of those gaps there. Do something different because this one specifically looks gorgeous, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm most likely gonna display him in the guts covered poncho, which is gonna cover his legs, so I don't care. But I think this figure is a must-have. I think it is awesome. I know we got 30 million trillion Ricks, but I want another Rick with guts poncho. I want a Michonne. Shit, at the very least, that's what I want. But I'd want them all. Even give us Sammy with a walker biting his face all in one pack, you know, because Sammy's a little guy and no one cares about Sammy, but give us Sammy as a figure. I don't want to be cruel, but yeah, give us that as a figure. But look at these images that they just released. I think the detail here, this looks like I'll be honest, it looks like, and this is nitpicky, but it looks like a season 4 Carl Grimes, you know what I mean? Like the actor, how he ages. But with that said, I don't give a damn because this looks fantastic. And if you guys are watching any of my reviews, I stand behind the detail and the likeness in these color tops figures. The bigger figures, they hold the likeness well. It looks fantastic. Remove the hat, you can remove the poncho. You have this amazing wounded face here. Looks like there's some yellow, really grossness on that poncho. That is just so damn awesome. It looks like there's blood and guts on his plaid shirt. Let's take a look at that. If you move over to this image, it appears there is some. Now that's interesting. I wonder why they would do that. You figure if you have the poncho, you really don't need anything additional, and if you had anything additional, it'd be on his arms, his hands, you know what I mean? So that is a little odd. I wonder why there's blood. It appears there's blood on his shirt, but I don't care, to be honest. I'll invent something in my head. He got blood on him. Who gives a shit? I don't care because I think this looks incredible. As a collector, I'm excited to have this among the other figures in the set. It looks great. As far as a link, I'm going to put that in a video description in case you want to go and maybe pull these images for yourself, or you want to keep an eye out for further updates. I will update you guys if there's any delays or any other information, but the next figure is Jesus, and there's talk in the collector communities that they pulled Jesus's images off the McFarlane Toys website. Now they could be adding new new updated images soon. If they updated Carl's, I feel pretty confident that they are most likely going to be coming out with updated Jesus images. It all depends on how they're updating that website. So it's either that or they're canceling. I don't think they're canceling Jesus, or maybe they're moving him back, adding a different figure. We don't know yet how they're doing the color tops, you know? But I doubt they are canceled. If anything, we'll see the different franchises get cut first, and then the Walking Dead will get cut last, if anything at all. Anyway, this is Carl Grimes. Tell me how awesome he looks, or how awesome you think he looks, down in that comment box. I got a lot of videos in the works, and I have an afterthoughts video for episode 3, so keep an eye out for that. And I have reviewed every single Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead figure for the new Color Top series to date, so I'm going to leave the links to that in the upper right corner on whatever device. Thoughts and opinions in the comment box. Sneak attack ending. I'm gone.
Subscribe now.